The smallest country in the world has a land area of 0.44 kilometers squared and a population of less than 1,000 people. This little nation, located within the heart of Rome, wields extraordinary influence far beyond its borders. From its economic impact across the globe to its cultural heritage, its religious significance, and its diplomatic ties, Vatican City stands as a beacon of authority in the world. So, why does such a small country command such a large presence in the world? Well, that's what we're here to find out. We'll be discussing why Vatican City is a hidden giant and delve into its historical roots, the crucial role it plays as the nucleus of the Catholic family around the world, its vast cultural heritage, and most importantly, how a small nation like it thrives economically. To truly appreciate the greatness of the Vatican, we'll have to take a sneak peek into its rich and complex history. The roots of this small yet mighty city-state are deeply intertwined with the history of the early Italian state. The story begins in the 4th century AD when Emperor Constantine the Great legalized Christianity with the Edict of Milan in 313 AD. This monumental shift allowed Christians to worship freely and set the stage for the establishment of Vatican City as a spiritual hub. Constantine later commissioned the construction of the Basilica in 324 AD, where it is believed that St. Peter, one of Jesus' apostles and the first pope, was buried. Over the years, the influence of the papacy grew, and with it, the prominence of Vatican City. During the Middle Ages, the popes became not only spiritual leaders, but also powerful political figures, wielding significant influence over European monarchs and kingdoms. The Papal States, a series of territories in the Italian peninsula under direct papal rule, further solidified the Church's power and in turn the power of the Pope. The Renaissance period was a golden age for Vatican City, as it became a centre for art, culture and learning. The construction of the new St. Peter's Basilica, which began in 1506 under Pope Julius II, attracted some of the greatest artists of the time, including Michelangelo and Raphael. Their masterpieces, which adorn the Vatican City to this day, are testaments to the city's cultural and artistic legacy. The 19th century brought with it unexpected challenges. The unification of Italy led to the annexation of the Papal States, dramatically reducing the power of the Church and the Pope. This culminated in 1870 with the capture of Rome, leaving the Pope a prisoner within the Vatican walls. This status quo persisted until the Lateran Treaty of 1929. The Lateran Treaty, signed by Pope Pius XI and Italian Prime Minister Benito Mussolini, recognized Vatican City as an independent and sovereign state. This landmark agreement established the Vatican as a distinct entity with its own government separate from Italy, yet situated in the very heart of Rome. If there's any country that will leave you in awe, it's the Vatican. As we continue, we'll explore how this small country is involved in major world decisions. Despite its small size, Vatican City wields significant power on the global stage. This influence is largely derived from its unique status as the spiritual and administrative centre of the Roman Catholic Church. The Holy See holds a unique position in international politics. It maintains diplomatic relations with over 180 countries and has observer status at the United Nations. This allows it to participate in global discussions on sensitive issues such as human rights, peace, and social justice, offering moral and ethical perspectives. Throughout history, various popes have played crucial roles in mediating conflicts and fostering peace. One notable example is Pope John Paul II, whose efforts in the 1980s were instrumental in the fall of communism in Eastern Europe. His moral support and encouragement of the Solidarity movement in Poland exemplify how the Vatican's influence can extend beyond spiritual guidance to tangible political change. In contemporary times, the Vatican continues to be a vocal advocate for peace and humanitarian issues. Pope Francis, in particular, has been a prominent figure on the world stage, addressing issues such as climate change, poverty, and migration. His encyclical Laudato Si has been praised globally for its call to action on environmental stewardship and social justice. The Vatican's influence on political matters can also be seen in its participation in international treaties and agreements. For instance, it played a crucial role in the establishment of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and has been a steadfast advocate for disarmament and non-violence. Beyond traditional diplomacy, the Vatican also engages in cultural diplomacy, promoting interfaith dialogue and mutual understanding among different religions. Initiatives like the Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue exemplify the Vatican's commitment to fostering peace and cooperation among diverse faith communities worldwide. Like every great country, Vatican City maintains strong allies across the globe. Some of its known allies include the United States of America, the United Kingdom, Spain, Portugal, Brazil, and even Colombia. Even in Africa, the Holy See hasn't failed to maintain strong allies as well. Some of its allies in Africa include Nigeria, Algeria, Egypt, Zambia, and Kenya. Vatican City claims to be a neutral nation, having not participated in any form of war since its inception in 1929. However, it is public knowledge that it has refused to have any relations with the Kingdom of Bhutan, the Republic of the Maldives, the People's Republic of China, and the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Although there have been some speculations as to why the Holy See has refused to maintain the relations with these countries, the only verifiable reason seems to be the lack of mutual interest, as the Vatican only signs concordats with countries that they have a mutual interest with. The Vatican is usually very accommodating of its allies, and in turn their ambassadors. However, there have been reports on several occasions that the Holy See rejects ambassadorial candidates for whose personal lives are not in accordance with Catholic teachings. For example, in 1973, it rejected the nomination of Dudley McCarthy as Australia's non-resident ambassador. There were rumours that it was due to his status as a divorcee. More so, according to press accounts in Argentina in January 2008, the country's nominee as ambassador, Alberto Iriban, a Catholic, was rejected on the grounds that he was living with a woman other than the wife from whom he was divorced. Also, in September 2008, French and Italian press reports likewise claimed that the Holy See had refused the approval of several French ambassadorial candidates, including a divorcee and an openly gay man. Furthermore, Massimo Franco, author of Parallel Empires, noted in April 2009 that the Obama administration had put forward 3 candidates for consideration for the position of United States ambassador to the Holy See, but each of them had been deemed insufficient by the Vatican, probably because of their stance on abortion. This claim was denied by the Holy See spokesperson Federico Lombardi and was dismissed by former ambassador Thomas Patrick Melody as false. The Vatican has since noted that it is not their practice to vet the personal ideas of those who were proposed as ambassadors to the Holy See. However, in the case of candidates who are Catholic and are living with someone, their marital status is taken into account. Divorced people who are not Catholics can in fact be accepted, providing their marriage situations is in accordance with the rules of their own religion. You're probably wondering how a country with a population of less than 1,000 thrives economically. Well, Vatican City has been quite resourceful in this regard. One major source of revenue from the country is donations. As the spiritual hub of Catholics around the world, Vatican City receives generous donations from Catholics all over the world with which it sustains itself. It also generates revenue from interest and investments of its reserves. Vatican City invests mainly in Italian industries, diversifying its portfolio between stocks and bonds and limiting its stake in companies to less than 6%. It is also known to be very conservative when investing. For example, it only invests in strong and proven industries. For this reason, investments in underdeveloped worlds are limited. Its recent investments have been more international, particularly in Western European currencies and bonds. Vatican City also generates revenue from investments in real estate. However, there are some investments that the Holy See won't make. For example, it will not invest in companies that go against its values, such as pharmaceutical companies that manufacture birth control pills. In this regard, Vatican City adopts a faith-based investment strategy. Another important source of revenue for the Vatican is tourism. Each year, the city welcomes millions of people who come to visit its museums, gardens, and other points of attraction. The city generates revenue through museum admissions, tours, highly sought after stamps and coins, and the sale of publications. However, Vatican City doesn't disclose how much money it collects each year from these ventures. In the past, different people have suggested progressive ways which the Vatican can use to generate revenue, but the Holy See has decided to stick to the traditional ways. Some of the suggestions include offering virtual tours of the Vatican museums, Sistine Chapel, and St. Peter's Basilica, with premium content and interactive features for a fee. Creating online courses and webinars on theology, art history, and Vatican history, charging enrollment fees for access, renting out Vatican spaces for private events, conferences, and high-profile gatherings, with strict guidelines to maintain the sanctity of the venues. Like most countries, Vatican City has plans and agendas for which it hopes to attain. The ambitious church-wide initiative outlines 7 categories of sustainability goals in the spirit of Pope Francis's 2015 encyclical Laudato Si, on care for our common home, which emphasizes integral ecology. 7 sectors of the church are asked to achieve these goals within a 7-year time framework. The goals include adopting renewable energy, achieving carbon neutrality, defending all life, solidarity with indigenous peoples and vulnerable groups, adopting simpler lifestyles, fostering ecological education and spirituality, advocating for sustainable development, and following ethical investment guidelines, including de-investment from fossil fuels and other industries that harm the planet. These plans are not only put forward for Vatican City, but for families, parishes, schools and universities, business and farms, religious congregations, hospitals, and other healthcare facilities. The action platform was the first previewed in May 2020, at the start of Laudato Si's anniversary year, that the Vatican declared to raise attention and ambition around the encyclical. The end of that year marks the beginning of the next phase of implementing Laudato Si. Working groups for each sector have been meeting throughout the year to create benchmarks specific to their institutions and compile resources, toolkits, and templates to guide groups on their own journeys to total sustainability as outlined in the encyclical. Like many other countries, Vatican City faces its fair share of challenges. For example, maintaining the Vatican's operations and extensive global activities requires substantial funding. While donations, income from tourism, and other sources provide revenue, ensuring financial sustainability remains a challenge for the Holy See. Another major challenge faced by the Vatican is the balancing of tradition with modernity. Issues like the role of women in the church, attitudes towards LGBTQ+ individuals, and adapting to contemporary societal values while maintaining doctrinal integrity have been contentious and sometimes proved divisive. Also, the Catholic Church has been grappling with the sexual abuse crisis for decades. The Vatican's response, including policies to prevent abuse and support victims, continues to evolve, but the impact on the Church's credibility and moral authority is profound. One other problem facing the country that most YouTubers might not want to discuss is its level of corruption and financial mismanagement by the governing body in the Vatican. For many years now, the Holy See has been running a deficit. According to the Los Angeles Times, the Holy See had a shortfall of $18.4 million in 2012. Officials blame the soft European economy and the cost of paying its 2,832 employees, as well as spreading the Catholic faith through its various media outlets. However, in September 2019, German Cardinal Reinhard Marx, who is in charge of the Vatican's Economic Council, confirmed that Pope Francis had instructed him to reduce the costs in an effort to eliminate a deficit that is estimated to be around 70 million euros. The exact amount is up for debate because the Vatican has not published a budget since 2015 and has been without an in-house auditor for up to 2 years. In 2021, the Holy See was notably impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Due to global restrictions for the health crisis, the Holy See press office noted it is heavily impacted by the economic crisis generated by the COVID-19 pandemic. As a result, Pope Francis approved a budget with a deficit of 49.7 million euros. Although Pope Francis and Pope Benedict XVI before him have made efforts to make the country more transparent, its finances are still a bit of a mystery, and some believe that the numbers are more general in nature than accurate and audited. For that reason, it's nearly impossible to gauge the financial health of the Holy See, although there's little doubt among those who study the Church that it has significant reserves. One other reason Vatican City is considered a hidden giant is because of the crucial role it plays among other Catholic nations in keeping the Catholic faith. Despite being the smallest Catholic nation in the world, Vatican City supports numerous educational and cultural initiatives that benefit Catholic nations. Institutions like Pontifical Gregorian University train clergy and laypeople. It also helps foster theological education and scholarly research. Other Catholic nations look up to the Vatican for guidance and direction. The Vatican's pronouncements on social justice issues such as poverty, human rights, and environmental stewardship provide a moral framework for other great Catholic nations like Portugal and Brazil. Encyclicals and other papal documents often address these topics, influencing national policies and encouraging Catholic communities to engage in advocacy and humanitarian efforts. Vatican City also plays a leading role in promoting dialogue between Catholic nations. These efforts are crucial for fostering mutual understanding and cooperation, addressing global issues, and enhancing interfaith initiatives. More importantly, the Vatican coordinates and supports missionary activities worldwide, promoting the spread of the Catholic faith. Through organizations like the Pontifical Mission Societies, it provides resources and guidance to evangelization efforts in Catholic nations and beyond, fostering the growth of the Church and the deepening of faith among Catholics. Lastly, the preservation of Christian art and heritage by the Vatican also enriches the cultural life of Catholic communities globally, further cementing the Vatican as a hidden giant. At the beginning of this video, we promised to answer some frequently answered questions about the Vatican City. We will try to answer as many as possible. Do stick around for the answers. Why does Vatican City have a population of less than 1,000? As earlier noted, Vatican City is the smallest independent state in the world, covering around 49 hectares. Its primary function is to serve as the spiritual and administrative centre of the Roman Catholic Church. There are a number of reasons why its population is usually always less than 1,000. Firstly, the limited land area restricts the number of people who can live there. Unlike other countries, Vatican City is not designed to support a large permanent population. It does not have the infrastructure, such as residential neighbourhoods or commercial districts, that larger countries have. Population mainly consists of clergy, including the Pope, cardinals, and members of religious orders who serve in various capacities within the Vatican. More importantly, Vatican citizenship is not based on birth, but on the individual's role or service to the Holy See. When people cease to hold their Vatican-related positions, they usually return to their home countries, further keeping the population at an all-time low. As a matter of fact, the Vatican has no delivery rooms. This means no one can be a citizen of Vatican City by birth. Does Vatican City have a standing army? Vatican City does not have a standing army in the traditional sense, but it is protected by the Pontifical Swiss Guard. The Swiss Guard is a small, highly trained force responsible for the safety and security of the Pope and the Apostolic Palace. Established in 1506 by Pope Julius II, Swiss mercenaries are renowned for their discipline and loyalty. Thus, the Pope enlisted them to serve as his personal bodyguards. The Swiss Guard contains of about 135 soldiers. Members are all Swiss citizens and Catholics who have completed basic training with the Swiss military. They must also meet specific physical and moral criteria. Their primary responsibilities include protecting the Pope, securing Vatican City and its entrances, and ensuring the safety of Vatican officials and visitors. They are also present during religious ceremonies and official events. While the Swiss Guard provides security within Vatican City, the Italian police and military are responsible for the external security of the Vatican, given the city's location within Rome. Vatican City is much more than the smallest country in the world. Its influence extends across history, religion, culture, politics, and economics, making it a true hidden giant. Vatican City might be small in size, but its impact is vast and profound. It serves as a powerful reminder that even the smallest entities can wield incredible influence on the world stage.